Carol, are you going to conduct the meeting until...
Yeah, we need to appoint a temporary chairman.
I make a motion that we appoint Jerry Long.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Need to appoint a temporary secretary.
I nominate Carol.
I second it.
In favor?
Aye.
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 Roll call, Art Zerby,
Present. Here.
Melvin Boyd,
Present.
Jerry Long.
Present.
Now we need to elect the chairman of the Board of Supervisors.
I nominate Arthur Zerby.
Hearing no second, is there another motion?
I will say this. I know both of you would like to be chairman. But to make it brief, what I've been through the last 4 years, say last 6, some of the decisions that have been made, I think the people voted at the polls what direction they wanted the township to take. And to keep it brief, and what all transpired over these last few years, I will make the motion to elect Jerry Long.
Your second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Jerry, you can take over.
Okay. We need to elect the vice chairman for the Board of Supervisors.
I make a motion that we elect Melvin Boyd as the vice chair.
I reject the nomination. I nominate Arthur Zerby.
Okay, we had a nomination rejected. No second, so we now currently have a nomination to elect Arthur Zerby, correct?
Right.
Okay. Is there a second? I'll second that. Is there any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now we elect our secretary-treasurer.
Nominate Carol Martin.
I second it.
Okay, we have the motion to nominate Carol Martin in second. Is there any discussion? None? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we need to establish the amount for the treasurer's bond. And I think our packet says it's currently $750,000. Is there any...
I make the motion. We set it at $750,000.
I second it.
Okay, we have the motion and its second. Is there any discussion? None? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Now, we established the compensation for our Treasury Secretary. I noticed last year our Treasury Secretary did not receive any extra compensation from the prior year. So is there any thoughts or comments? And
I know it's not much, but I think we should give her 50 cents for our raise.
okay, we have a motion to increase the Secretary Treasurer's compensation by 50 cents an hour.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Appoint the roadmaster.
Make a motion, we appoint Andy, who's present, as roadmaster.
Okay, I'm going to second that because I want to make comments on that. We have the motion and second and comments. Andy was appointed in the middle of the year, maybe August, September.
Yes.
And I think he's doing a fine job. But typically, if he would have been appointed at the beginning of the year, it would have been a full year term. I would maybe like to see him serve that full year and then be reevaluated. And so I would, unless you want to amend that motion to a 6-month and then a reevaluation.
No, he has been doing an excellent job, and I think all the supervisors had been in agreement that what was going on was really good. I saw they recently took care of, to a certain extent, the school road job that had been hanging for a while, and it's not complete, but at least it's not a danger anymore. I think he's doing an excellent job with the patching, the repairing of the roads, and with the resources that we have. I don't want to amend the motion. No, I think the motion was good. I think he's doing a great job.
Is there any other discussion on the motion? Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor of reappointing?
Was there a second?
Yes, I'd second.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
It wasn't. I didn't second to approve it. I seconded to raise comments on it. And I stated my position. I'd rather see a 6-month extension. So we do have the motion to grant or to assign the roadmaster for. Now, even these appointments are not 12-month labor contracts. You know. But we had the motion to appoint the roadmaster for 12 months, and it was second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion does not carry. I would like to make the motion to appoint the roadmaster for a 6-month continue another 6 months, with the full intention that satisfactory performance would automatically continue his service. But we haven't gone through a winter yet, and this is not meant to be judgmental on Andy or anybody, just simply saying, hey, let's take this bit by bit, piece by piece. We support you. So my motion is to appoint Andy Baum for a 6-month.
Discussion?
We didn't have a second yet.
We don't have to have a second.
We have to have a second.
Before we have discussion. I mean, you made a motion. What's going to be the criteria? Who's going to do the evaluation?
That's something we need to do as a board, develop an evaluation process for all our staff.
Is that going to be something like the board's decision so far tonight? You two people setting all the tone?
Possibly, but that's...
Is that what you're intending? Is that sort of what the letter you sent to me says? I'm the odd man out?
Take your own interpretation as such, but we're here to conduct township business. And I don't...
There's 3 supervisors.
That's right.
You're just one.
That's right.
Just because Arthur is going to support you in everything.
A motion was made.
There was discussion.
And there's discussion. Is there a second?
for 6-month evaluation, I second it.
Can I ask a question?
No.
Not,
Will I be able to ask a question later?
not in reorganization.
It's a public meeting.
Yeah, but we never had discussion times
Well,
all these years.
that doesn't mean we can't have discussion. We have the public here.
There's nobody ever at the meetings, that's why.
But you insinuated that you spoke for me earlier, that the public has spoken. I am the public, and I don't believe you spoke for me then. And I would like to speak for myself
What
now.
happened to at the election? The public has spoken.
A percentage of the public has spoken. Let's not rehash that. I want to know, will I have an opportunity as a taxpayer to speak this evening to some of these issues? Yes or
Okay,
no?
we can pause the meeting now. We can give public comment, and you'll have your opportunity. And when you're all done, we can continue the meeting if that's what you desire.
I would desire that, because I
Okay.
have a question.
Okay, you okay with that?
Yeah, get it
Okay
over
with
with,
that?
and we'll go through it.
Nope.
I guess my question is, with this gentleman as the roadmaster, is that past practice? Or
No.
is this something that has just now suddenly come up?
Yes.
I don't think that's appropriate. You have a gentleman who you all have sat there and agreed has said has done an excellent job.
Wait.
However, you're only willing to offer him a contract for
talk.
another 6 months, knowing full well, as someone already mentioned, he hasn't really been through winter, but the winter is now here, obviously. I'll be honest with you, if I were that person, I would go out to Marshall looking for a job that was going to be a year-long job. This makes no sense to me at all. This is penny-wise, pound-foolish, with a process that is not at all in place. You have no evaluative criteria, but yet you made a decision. You made a decision to make it a 6-month position, even though there is no past practice for that, and obviously no policy. It makes no sense at all in the real world to do something like that. None.
Okay, thank you.
Comment to that.
You may.
This makes no sense to me at all, that you sat in a committee that I was on for 20 years in the land uses in this township, and in one meeting, you just overturned the road system, the park trails.
I don't need you to harass me at a public meeting.
I don't need you to harass me.
I am discussing the issue at hand, not something that happened in the past.
Yeah, that
I am
has nothing to
concerned
do
about
with this,
the issue
Arthur.
we're talking about now. You should not be bringing up past issues. That's your problem. You deal with that. This is about the roadmaster issue that you all have now just voted on, or appear to have voted on.
You know that all these positions are by appointment. We can decide who we want to appoint and who we do not want to appoint, and there's no way that the public can change that decision.
I understand you can make that decision, but why would you make a decision that does not appear to be in the best interest of this township and its impending needs as the winter is now here?
Okay, I beg to differ. We're trying to make the best interest in the township. If it would have been a full year appointment at the beginning of the year, it would have been a full year. He was put in the middle of the year. We're just simply extending his probational period for a 12-month period. So this is not meant to judge his performance. It's simply to say, let's get through a winter. Let's get through a winter.
And once you get through the winter, you have nothing to base his performance on. You've just said that. You do not have the criteria in place for your performance evaluation.
The intent of the board would be that we would develop an evaluation process for all township employees. Currently, there is none that I'm aware of. So when we sit at these things, there's no evaluation process that we can use to set any direction or purpose. This is not meant, this is not meant to criticize, it is not meant to judge, it's just simply saying, hey, we haven't gotten through a winter yet. What we went through last winter with the roadmaster and this and that, we're just saying, hey, here's our support. We want to revisit it in July.
And you don't see that as a move that makes no sense for the township, knowing winter is coming, and you have a person who you all have said has done a good job so far, knowing full well that if he walks out of here tomorrow and sees an ad that gives him a year-long position in this economy, he's probably going to go for it and take it. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
You want to know what this is all about?
I know what it's all about.
Last year, Arthur did not get to work on the road crew during the winter. Now this year, if Arthur gets to work on the road crew during the winter, plowing snow, possibly then Andy will have done a great job. How about that?
Arthur will not be working on the road crew during the winter.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
let's get back on the public session time. Is there any other public comments to make? Okay, we'll close the public session time and move back to our order of business. I had a motion to extend the roadmaster for 6 months. And I don't remember if there was there a second?
Yes, I
And
said.
it's second. We had discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Next item of business is to establish the compensation for the roadmaster.
Compensation is currently at $23.50 an hour. I make a motion we maintain that.
I second it.
Okay, we had a motion to maintain the current compensation level for the roadmaster, and it's second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we need to establish compensation for the full-time road crew. And it is my understanding this is 2 individuals, or is this 3 individuals? Two individuals.
I'd like to make a motion that we keep their compensation at its current rate, but give them something for a bonus since they're not going to get a raise. I don't know how much, maybe $150, $250, whatever the board would think would be appropriate. Their rate would stay the same. They would have a few extra dollars in their pocket.
I don't think it's the best interest of the township to use the people's tax dollars to be given bonuses. We went through this before.
Is there a second? Motion was made to keep the current compensation at their current level, but offer some sort of bonus. I think that could be tied into some type of performance evaluation that the township needs to develop for its staff, and would entertain it at that point. But I think as far as tonight, I have no basis to set that offer. So there was no second. It was, the motion was tied into what, two things there. It was a motion to keep their compensation the same, and then it was to also, can we break that apart into?
No, it was one motion.
Okay, well then that motion died because of lack of second.
Another motion?
Yes, I'll entertain another motion.
I make a motion that Steve's rate on the road crew stay at $22.09 and Tony's rate on the road crew at $21.
I'll second that. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We did not address Gary Messner yet, correct?
Right.
He's part-time.
Okay, we have one, is that what you,
Yeah.
part-time
Right.
road crew.
Who's actually the park maintenance?
Okay, is there any discussion or motion on the compensation for the part-time road crew?
It's been a while since Gary had any raise, but well, he didn't have one last year. I make a motion that we increase Gary Messner's wage, which he takes care of the park, from $16 to $16.50 an hour, with no benefits.
Okay, we have a motion to raise Gary Messner's hourly rate from $16 to $16.50 with no benefits. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's second. Any discussion? I agree. The no benefit issue, right, is a whole different issue, which I feel is well justified. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we need to establish compensation for clerical help.
Dottie had no raise last year. I make the motion that we increase Dottie's wage from $17.53 an hour, up 50 cents to $18.03 an hour.
I'll second that motion.
And again, that motion was to raise it from $17.53 to
$18.03.
$18.03. And it was second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Establish compensation for office cleaning.
Doris had no raise last year. She's at $16.13. I propose a motion to raise hers to $16.63 an hour with no benefits.
The motion was made to raise Doris Gaiman's from $16.13 to
$16.63.
$16.63.
I'll second that.
And it's been second. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now, designated depositories for township funds. PLGIT and Fulton Effort National Bank.
I make a motion that we keep the Pliggett, Fulton, and Effort National Bank for the depository of the township funds.
Okay, we have a motion to maintain the depositories at the existing locations. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's second. There's any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now, designate signatories for the depository accounts.
I make a motion that we keep it the same, which is the treasurer and any one of the board members.
Okay, we got the motion to maintain the same
I'll second that.
signatories, and it's been second. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, appoint legal counsel.
Make a motion, we appoint Apple and Yost, which would give us Bill Cassidy.
Can we have the motion to maintain Apple and Yost, William Cassidy?
I second
And
it.
it's second. Is there any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Appoint legal counsel for zoning hearing board.
I make a motion, we take Larry Mayer at $155 an hour.
I second it.
Motion was made to maintain Larry Mayer, and it was a second. Is there any discussion? I have some discussion. I noticed on the township supervisor's manual that the zoning hearing board is to appoint their own solicitor. That's not normally the way we've done it. Is there any problem? Okay. I didn't know if the motion needed to reflect that we were endorsing or continuing the zoning hearing board's selected counsel, etc. But we have the motion to appoint Larry Mayer as the counsel for zoning hearing board. It was second. Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Now, I have a request to make here. The next, number 18 is concerning Technicon. I'd like to pass over that and discuss that down with 25 and 26. I think it would just clean the thing up. We can talk about Technicon's issues all at one time. So, do I have any support from the board to simply move that down to 26.5 and discuss the township engineer, code enforcement officers, and sewage enforcement officers all at one time?
No, there's no support there from me. I think it's plain that you're trying to get rid of Technicon because you had a personal dispute with them, and I don't think that's fair.
Let's keep personal out of it.
Yeah, it's not personal, except with you.
Any discussion from this side?
I can see where there's no problem. Put the three together. I have an idea what's going to happen out of this thing. So I'm in favor of moving 18 down with, is it 25, 26?
26, yeah.
26.
Okay, let's take a vote on that. Those in favor of moving the discussion about the township engineer with same time we discussed all the other Technicon appointments, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, appoint special water quality engineer.
Make a motion to appoint Ebert Engineering, who's the current engineer for water and sewage at $103.50.
Okay, we have a motion to basically maintain the same firm, Ebert Engineering, as our special water quality engineer. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 No.
Opposed? Okay, motion.
Oh, no.
Okay, motion carries. Appoint chairman of vacancy board. I'd like to appoint Ron Hershey as our vacancy chair board person.
I second.
And it's second.
I second.
Is there any discussion?
I have a problem with that. This is personal on your part.
You speak for yourself, not for me.
No, I have it right here in the book, in your letter to me. You do not want Larry on any board, in any position.
You want to shake my hand tonight?
Hey, we're doing township business tonight. Let's try to keep it that way. A motion was made to appoint Ron Hershey as the chairman of the vacancy board, and it was second.
Wait till we get in Park and Rec.
Those in
We can't
favor,
have that one either.
please, please. Those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Opposed.
carries. We have reappointment positions on the Sewer Authority, Planning Commission, Zoning Hearing Board, Park and Rec Committee. Okay, if we go to our packet, I guess the Planning Commission is listed first. There's a 4-year term that Gene Martini his term expires. And I did talk to Gene, and he's willing to continue his term.
I make a motion to appoint Gene Martini.
I second it.
Okay, the motion was made to reappoint Gene Martini in his for a term that would expire 12/2019. And it's been seconded. Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the Zoning Hearing Board. We have a vacancy that happened during the year when Ron Hershey resigned. And I'd like to make the motion that Ken Martin, the alternate appointee, would be motion to appoint him in that unexpired term.
I'll second it.
So, okay, we have a motion to appoint Ken Martin to the vacancy spot. And I did talk to Ken, and he was more than happy to do that. We have the motion, second. Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have 2 terms up on the Park and Rec Board.
Levi Hoover's.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
I'll make a motion we appoint Levi Hoover to the zoning board.
I second.
Okay, the motion was made to reappoint Levi Hoover, and his would be a full term of 3 years, and it's been seconded. Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
And I make a motion we appoint Garth Wise as the alternate.
Okay, a motion was made to appoint Garth Wise as the alternate. Is there a second?
Well, you know there's no second.
Okay, if I know there's no second, motion dies because of lack of second. Park and Rec Board. We have Gary Messner's term expires. I talked to Gary Messner. He's more than willing and interested to extend his term. And I make a motion that we appoint Gary Messner to a new term that will expire 12/2020.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have the motion made and second. Those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Now, what are you going to do about Larry? You going to reject him again? It seems to me this is something we call getting even, revenge, retribution. I mean, I thought you were both good Christian guys, and, you know.
I thought you were a good Christian at the polls, but I learned a big lesson.
Yeah, you did, huh?
Yes, I did.
Well, I learned some things about you, too.
And that's good. I have more support from the people of this township than you ever had.
Is that right?
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. Well, where did they find out how many of those people in the township that you were going to try to get them for violations of the zoning?
Nobody's going to do that.
Huh, they're not.
No.
What do you mean? I have this right here.
There might be a list, but
Complaints.
I did not approve that list.
Oh, that's your list.
You know something?
My list.
Hey. This is we're conducting
Okay,
township business.
you gave her a chance. I would like to have one say.
Please sit down.
Then I would like to have something to say. You gave her a chance. I would like to
We had a community session early in
Send it again.
No. We're required to do one.
I
We did.
I will not sit on a board in this township if you people are going to display this type of conduct against each other. I rescind my seat on the board of Planning Commission because of that. You cannot get along. We are trying to do one thing for the township. Work together.
Please.
Isn't it
I will
amazing?
not be on a board.
Isn't
in
it
this
amazing
township
how they
because of
could
that.
cut
I
me
am
up for
sorry.
years?
I am sorry.
They cut me up for years.
I am sorry.
Wouldn't let me
I
speak.
want to work for this
Let him
township.
go then.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let him go.
I'm sorry. I really wanted to work for the township.
We're sorry.
I loved working for the township, but I can't do that.
Please, you've had your time to speak in the community session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, that's being recorded, what you said.
I can't help that.
Let's
I really
continue.
is. I'm sorry. So you know who I am. My name is Gene Racine.
Let's continue with township business.
And I make a motion we elect Larry Horning to the Park and Rec to continue as he's doing a great job there.
Is there a motion to second it?
I'm wondering why nobody spoke to Larry. As you mentioned, every other
No.
one you said you spoke to the person. and it's been
Motion dies because of lack of second.
Seems to be inappropriate, inequitable treatment.
We have a position open on the sewer authority. And since you already know my position,
Yes, you don't want me on the sewer authority.
I think there's a
No, there's not.
there,
If you want to make a ruling that no township official can serve in any paying position, I could go with that. That would mean no township official could serve in any way that gets paid. And on the Lancaster County Sewer Authority, I get paid $25 a month. So if that's your reason that no township official should be on a board or a commission or a job that gets paid, I'm okay with that.
I didn't make that my position.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You just don't want me on it.
My position.
This is personal. You know that.
No.
Your position as a township official shouldn't be on the sewer authority.
Yes.
Well, who's going to keep an eye on the sewer authority?
That's a Pennsylvania planning, or Pennsylvania municipalities.
I did not say they. I
That's
did
right.
not,
You're not even on the park and rec or anything.
Well, nobody's on there right now. It's not appointed.
I did not say that the legal positioning would not allow you to be on the sewer authority. I did not say that. I did not say that.
What did you say?
I said.
You said you'd be uncomfortable.
I said be uncomfortable if one of our board is on that
Who's
sewer.
going to be uncomfortable?
I might be uncomfortable.
Oh, well, I would be very comfortable.
And you know why? I said it can be the appearance that you're representing the board in that position. I think we have an excellent sewer manager. I think we have a good board. And as we try to, our objectives and vision to the future is to try to get the younger generation involved. Vacancies are not destroying the board.
Maybe you could be on. You're younger than me.
You're too old. That's discrimination.
I know. It's age discrimination. Yes.
Okay. No action on the sewer authority.
You have a vacancy.
Item number 22. Appoint the emergency management coordinator.
Make a motion to reappoint Kevin Fuentes.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion to reappoint Kevin, and it's second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Aye.
Excuse me, Jerry.
Yeah.
After the board appointments, we have the UCC Appeals Board. That would be right behind all your other appointments under your tabs for boards and commissions.
Is that number 23?
It's the one we just finished. No, it would be actually number...
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
who was Kevin?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I did move it down. I apologize.
Yeah, okay.
It's number 24. You're right. I did move it down. Thank you.
So next item is to appoint deputy emergency management coordinator.
Which is vacant right now.
Which is vacant. Okay. So there's no action.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Appoint UCC, Uniform Construction Code, Board of Appeals.
You said you were going to move 18 down with it.
18 is going to become 26.5.
Yeah. This one is so sorry.
We're at 24.
These are the...
Oh, yes.
Yeah. At the back of that. Keep going. The highlighted bottom three are the ones that need to be reapproved.
The bottom three.
Yeah, Henry Merklin, Ben Stoltzfus, and Marty Merklin.
Make a motion that we reappoint, correct?
Please.
Henry Merklinger, Ben Stoltzfus, and Larry Knepper. To the U.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay. The motion was made to reappoint those individuals to the Uniform Construction Code Board of Appeals, and second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 25. Appoint codes enforcement officer, zoning officer, and fee schedule. Now, I don't know why everyone is so surprised and making opinions of from April on. You know, I was going to challenge this was not going to be a rubber stamp and that they automatically are appointed. I wanted to be able to review and judge whether their performance and their rates are in line with other inspection firms.
Well, I think the rates are fixed here, aren't they?
They're fixed, yeah.
So their rates don't make any difference.
Their rates compared to other code enforcement agencies. But I would like to at this time present the petition that was presented to this board 3 years ago. And this is what the petition read. The residents of Brecknock Township who hereby petition their supervisors to improve the building permit and inspection process by allowing multiple inspection agencies to perform in Brecknock Township. We support this petition knowing that competitive service would bring the best out for our residents of this township. We wish to join Earl Township, New Holland Borough, Lancaster City, East Lampeter Township, Elizabeth Township, Warwick Township, and others that have taken this direction. And there were over 30 signatures on the petition. Since that time, East Earl has also changed their code enforcement process that they allow 3 parties to do inspections in their township. We have given Technicon a monopoly in our township.
Why would we have done that?
The previous board did.
Why?
I don't know.
I think it's pretty obvious they do an excellent job.
Compared to what?
Well, they also give us back some of their fees. Are the other companies going to do that?
This is something we need to evaluate and move on, and not just simply rubber stamp someone in. Your opinion is different than mine. I deal with these guys every day.
Yes, I understand that.
I purposely, the past couple months, as on construction jobs, have asked people who does the inspections. And there's a multitude of qualified inspection agencies out there. I prepared a little bit of a matrix with 5 different inspection agencies. And there's some extra ones here if anyone cares to come up and get them. The most common in our area is ABI. Okay, let me go back and say the ones that East Earl Township and Earl Township use are ABI, Code Administrators, and Technicon. Now, I did this matrix across here. What these inspection agencies, they're all certified by the state, what their inspection rates are, and which drives the whole process, because every project, when they get a building project in, they'll do a plan review. So it's X number of dollars for a plan review. And then it's based upon the number of inspections that they deem this project needs. If you look for ABI's, their inspections are $59 an inspection. Code Administrators, $50. Commonwealth Code Inspections, $55. Innovative Inspection Services, $60. The average of those 4 is $56 an inspection. Technicon is $80. That's like 30% higher. And then that will drive every project that is done, because the number of inspections is based upon that, will drive their costs to our township residents higher than any others. This 180 square foot deck and roof, I did this summer over on Morningside Drive. It cost $365 and the owner was shocked. Had I done that job through Commonwealth, it would have been $165. Through Code Administrators, it only would have been $170. Through Innovative Inspection Service, 170. But because Technicon has a monopoly in this area, they set that they're not. It's not a competitive rate. A typical 2,250 square foot home, ABI would be $663. Commonwealth would be $500. Innovative Services is $724. Technicon would be $820.
What would Technicon get back to the township on that?
112, right there, the township's portion.
What would these other companies get back?
I don't know, but that still puts them higher than the others.
Also, these Brecknock Township portions that you have here are all for Technicon.
The township portion is included in that $365.
Okay.
Then you go down to like the very last one. A 2,100 square foot restaurant. ABI $1,000, Commonwealth $2,000, Innovative Services $800, Technicon $6,000, and they would give back to the township $1,477. They're giving back more than what two of the others even charge.
How do you know how many inspections this 21 square foot restaurant would need?
That's what these are based upon.
What do you mean is what they're based upon? They may need many inspections. How do you know how many?
Well,
each inspection costs a lot of money.
That's why Technicon's portion is so much higher, because they're charging 40% more than everyone else on their inspections.
Well, how do you know that this number you have right here for ABI would be $1,063.50?
That's what their fee schedule. I have their fee schedules.
What if they need more inspections?
I have their fee schedules. What if Technicon needs more inspections?
Well, theirs might go higher,
it would go higher if they need more inspections.
Or you may have already included that in.
Hey, you're welcome to check the fee schedules of these people. I did the homework. And I said, look, I'm just saying I want to have some competitive comparison here and not rubber stamp Technicon into automatically doing our code enforcement. Now, I'd like to make a motion on acting on the petition that was submitted previously.
Can I make a comment, Jerry?
No.
No,
I'd like to respond to your inaccurate letter that you sent out to the residents in the spring.
This is
where you
not your
implied that I
comment.
was opposed to multiple inspections when I was in favor of it. Just for the record, I was in favor of it.
Are you still in favor of it?
I'm still in favor of it.
That's fine.
Because I support multiple competitive projects.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't be on the part of
And I just oppose your inaccurate lies that you stated in your letter. Just for the record, Jerry.
Please.
How can you base something in a 3-year-old petition with 30 signatures? I was never asked to sign it.
How did you base your changing of the plan with 10 people?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm talking about
The plan that you threw in front of the meeting. You changed the road system, you changed the park and rec trails.
Nothing to do with anything.
Oh, here she is talking about how can you do it with 30 people, you did it with 10.
He's going back to the official map.
I make a motion that tonight we act on a petition and that we grant multiple inspection agencies to perform in Brecknock Township.
I oppose.
Is there a second?
No, I'm very interested in knowing the fee structures of other firms.
Well, right now, this is just basically if we allow 3 inspection agencies.
Yes.
You second it?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose.
Motion carries. Now, back to the process of bringing our township the best qualified, conscious pricing on people that we allow to operate in the township. What that process will be, that's what we're up to discussion.
Well, since you're the expert on construction, I guess whatever you want to do is going to happen, right?
I'm asking for how that process might take place.
You'll tell us.
Okay, well, if you don't have any, I'll tell you.
I'm not a contractor. You are, even though your business has failed, you are still a contractor.
I'm a contractor. I would like to see, as of today, Technicon would continue processing the permit if they're willing to do it at 2015 rates. And then within the next month, we put together a proposal or offer some additional firms which may or may not include Technicon. And we would decide at a meeting then which of these multiple inspection companies we would allow to perform their services if the contractors and residents of our township choose to use them.
I agree.
Now, can that process be done in a relatively short amount of time? Can we put these
I don't know how you can evaluate a number of companies
well,
without somebody coming in and telling you their schedules and stuff like that, and what they'll provide.
well, do we want to set an evening and we invite 4 or 5 to follow each other half an hour apart?
That's fine with me.
Yeah, Technicon would want a chance to revise their fee schedule.
I'm sure they would, and I welcome it.
Yeah,
Yes, I
and
welcome it.
because at this point in time, this township portion you talked about would probably go away.
Yeah, I wondered a little bit about that.
That really just helped with administrative
Yeah.
things. That's really what that was about.
That's going to
And
be
the-
important. in the
It
decision.
is going to be important
Yeah.
because it does help with the administrative
Yeah.
part of it in here.
Yeah.
So in fairness to their fee schedule, which they may want to revise as well, these other companies should know how we are currently operating, that these fees may change as well on your spreadsheet if
Yes.
we're looking
Yes.
for something like this.
It is not easy. It is not easy to sit down and determine what a permit's going to cost. Typically, a contractor, we submit our plans and let them tell us what it's going to cost. And typically, it's more than we expect, but it's always passed on to the owner, and they're the ones that pay it. So a lot of times the contractor will say, it is what it is. It is what it is. And if it's $1,000 or $10,000, most contracts made out to homeowners do not include the permit cost, so they can say it's no skin off their back. But I think we should be responsible enough to provide for our residents a choice and also the best value, people that can do it.
All right. I'll second the motion.
Okay.
That's the motion.
The motion is that we would invite at least 3 or 4, including Technicon, in a meeting that they would each be given a certain amount of time to follow each other, and the board would listen to this, and then from out of that meeting we would develop the list of 3. And so we had the motion, and it was second, right? Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Now, how soon is a reasonable amount of time that you turn this around? 30 days?
You could set the goals possibly before the February supervisors
Okay.
meeting.
Is that good?
If that's workable with those, with those companies, which would be February 9th.
Now, so far as who we currently have Mike giving us the engineering
Okay,
report.
we didn't get to that part yet. This is just the building inspection process.
All right.
Okay? We'll get there. Okay, now, the next item I think on the list is the zoning officer. Now, this is another thing. You shouldn't be surprised. My campaign was based upon the township. At some point, the township would offer the zoning officer to a township employee that could do it on a part-time basis. There is no certification. There's no educational requirements for a zoning officer by the MPC, except that the person would be familiar with the codes. Again, we would let Quinn Howard continue at the rates from last year, to handle the zoning officer position until we would advertise if there's anyone looking for a part-time job, be interested in serving as a zoning officer in the township. The board would interview that person, and I'd also like to see a fairly prompt turnaround on that, because it's not fair to Technicon to expect them to continue months and months into their current rates. Again, Technicon zoning officer be considered just like, but I would like to see at least one or two additional ones beside Technicon interviewed for that zoning officer position.
You mean, I know you've only been to one or two meetings, but the things that Mike reports to us, do you think just about anybody in the township could do that?
We're not talking about Mike. I'm talking about zoning officer.
Okay, which is currently Quinn.
Yeah. Every time someone comes in for a building application, there's two parts of it. A zoning application and a building construction application. A lot of our neighboring townships have their own separate zoning officer that simply looks at the very first page, looks at the zoning ordinance and says, is this use, zoning is a lot about use, is this use of this building permitted in the township? It's typically a one-page thing.
Is this something that you want to do? Is this something you're angling to do?
No, absolutely not. No, as an elected official, an elected official cannot serve as a zoning. No, you can't. You can't. No. An elected official cannot serve as the zoning officer. No, it is not something I want to do.
You know somebody that would do it?
I don't know anyone that would do it. I just know the process.
You can't talk.
The process of separating the zoning from the building, it works much better when you go to multiple building inspection agencies if the zoning portion is handled separately. Okay, do we need a motion on that?
You would, because you would need to authorize advertisement for a legal notice to receive applications. Okay. Then I would make a motion that we would continue the services of the zoning officer at 2015 rate. In the meanwhile, advertise for a new zoning officer position as a township employee or direct hired through the township. And we would consider at least three possible alternates. Is there a second to that motion?
I second it.
Motion second. Those in favor say aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
This could be somebody from the township.
Yes.
Just looking for part-time work.
Yes, and I think we get a whole lot better service.
We had Bill Crane for years.
Yes.
We had Paul Oddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when Bill Kring was it, he didn't know what he was doing.
Well, then we can help. We can help this person. Okay, now appoint the sewage enforcement officer and adopt resolution. Again, this just leads on to my reluctant to rubber stamp with no basis to know if this is the best thing for the township or the worst thing. I'm following the same target. I'd like to see that revisited and at least consider one other possibility that would offer that services, and let's give the township the best service for their money.
And who would you consider? Someone from the township? Is that what you're saying?
The sewer enforcement officer is a highly qualified, certified individual that is licensed through the state. It would have to be someone that meets that criteria. No, this would not be a targeted toward the township employee unless there was. I'm not aware of any. But I know other townships have. Dale High's been an SEO. There are some other SEOs that that handle multiple townships. So I did make the motion that we would also revisit this sewer enforcement officer position and accept. We keep the current one on the 2015 rate. The current one would be considered, but we desire to consider it against two other options.
Can I just ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
Is something like that position and then the requests for information on needs, does that also go out as an advertised request for people to step forward? Just like you mentioned for the zoning officer, you put an ad in the paper.
Right, it'd have to be advertised, right.
Yeah, we would notify that we're currently
Like the newspaper ad,
request
just like the-
request proposals or
Newspaper.
resume from anyone interested.
And the zoning officer does the same thing, or the sewage
Yes,
person?
yes. Thank you. Okay, now we're down to 26.5. Appoint township engineer.
I make a motion to appoint the current township engineer, who is from Technicon.
Okay, we have a motion to appoint the current township engineer. Is there a second?
Maybe we could get that lady back on.
Motion died, lack of second.
Which one?
The one that was on before Mike. The lady.
Paula Renecki.
The one that you told me one night you'd love to spend the night in bed with her.
Yeah, she's
Remember
cute.
that?
She's cute.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember her.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
Impressive.
I understand.
I'm proud to be a citizen.
Yeah, I'm proud.
She
I'm
was
proud
good.
he's sitting here.
She was a good engineer.
Thanks for bringing that up, Arthur.
Well, I mean, this
She
is
was
a
a
Christian
really-
man.
She was a
That's
really good
That's
engineer,
really
and Arthur
impressive. A
didn't like her.
Christian man.
Yeah,
I-
Arthur didn't like her because she
You're
was
no
a woman.
longer in this.
Hey, come on. I continue my position here of trying to bring multiple, I should say, accountability. That we are doing our
You have a
job.
personal agenda. Why
We
don't
are
you
doing our job.
admit it?
Come on.
Just like with Larry.
The township
How about with
engineer.
Garth?
The township engineer is a highly trained professional job.
Certainly.
I'm open to just having one other one in an interview process. Give another firm the opportunity to present, give Technicon a chance to present, and we would simply then pick which one we think is best. No, I would not pick. I would certainly have a vote, just as you would.
Yeah, and Larry would, Arthur would say yes.
So we had a motion that died. I make a motion that our current township engineer will continue in his current position at his current 2015 rates until we have a chance to give them a chance to do a presentation and ask one other engineering firm, that preferably someone who does work in a nearby township, and we would then make a decision between those two.
You advertise that also, have multiple proposals,
Yeah, after that. Have you advertised?
at least 3.
I wouldn't have a problem with 3. But I'm trying to think if we'd be okay with just 2. But what if we get 10 then?
Yeah, you'd advertise it the same way you would do the
Yeah.
other positions.
Yeah.
You would call them out and come down to the top 3.
Same thing.
Your criteria.
We would set up a meeting. They would each follow each other.
It would be a public meeting.
Well, my motion said 2. Do we want to change that motion for more? In fairness to Technicon, I don't want to drag this thing out either way. They're either back on track or they're not. You know. Must we advertise that?
It's a request for service, so it's not something you have to advertise.
Okay. I would say each of the board can submit one firm that they would like to have in consideration. Okay, that was a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, motion is made and second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. Motion carries. Now, appoint voting delegate to the state convention.
I make a motion to appoint Carol.
I second.
Motion is made to appoint Carol as the voting delegate, and second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Establish the non-uniform employees holiday. The holiday currently is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that correct, Carol?
Yes.
New Year's Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, and the day after Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. Is there a motion on that?
I make a motion to keep them the same.
Motion was made to maintain the same employee holidays.
I'll second it.
It's second. Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? I had a comment I want to make. I don't know when's the best time to do it here. Let me do it at the end. And it has to do with the work week of the road crew, but again, just to throw something out. But okay, we want to establish the 2016 schedule of meetings.
Make a motion they stay the same as they are now.
And that is the second Tuesday of
Each month for
every.
the supervisors, zoning board, third Tuesday of each month, planning is fourth Monday of each month, park and rec, third Monday of each month, and sewer authority is second Monday of each month.
Okay, motion was made to keep the same schedule.
Second.
It's second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Appoint part-time winter maintenance employees and establish compensation.
I think they're currently paid $19.63 an hour. If that's correct, I make a motion we keep it the same.
Okay. Let me break that apart. We have a motion to keep the same salary, the same compensation.
I second it.
The second, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Must we name them?
Should, because we have one new one. Should make a motion then.
Yeah. So we didn't address the part-time, you're talking about the winter maintenance people?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a list of the part-time, as my understanding, this is pretty much snow plowing people.
That's correct.
Okay. David Andrews, William Messner, Deborah Martin, Kevin Baker, Tim Greenwald, Adam Byers, Jeffrey Musser.
Is that all of them?
Yes.
Now, Jeffrey Musser is a new one.
Yes.
Is there a need for a new one?
Yes, because two of the ones on the list do not want to be first called. They want to be only called if somebody else.
Okay.
We needed somebody replacing a truck. Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Joe, sorry.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, do we have a motion on appointing those individuals again as part-time winter maintenance?
I make a motion we appoint those that were just mentioned.
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion was made and seconded to appoint. To reappoint them, all those in favor say aye.
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 Are we going to keep the compensation the same?
Yes, we already, that was a motion just prior. Now, 2016 IRS mileage rate, has that changed? Is that the current?
Yeah, that's the current one. It went down, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 0.56, 0.54.
It's 54 cents.
And that is being used for what purpose?
If I go to the convention, I
Okay.
use my own vehicle. If Andy goes to something, he uses his own
Okay.
vehicle. That would be the
Okay.
only reason.
Okay. Is there a motion to adopt that rate?
Adopt the rate, the IRS mileage rate at 54 cents per mile.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion is made and second to accept the mileage rate. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now, appoint open records officer.
I make a motion to appoint Carol.
Okay, there's a motion made to appoint Carol.
I second.
And second, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now, Carol, I think I emailed you something, but is my understanding we have to appoint an alternate open records or
I know.
not?
The last seminar I went to said you only need the officer.
Okay, okay.
But we don't really get that much of it, so if I find that we need an alternate, I'll bring it to the board.
Okay, just one other comment. Help me understand. Currently, our snow crew, road crew, their work week starts from, is it Sunday to Sunday?
Sunday to Saturday.
So if they're called out an emergency crew or emergency response or plow snow Sunday, that's the beginning of their week? Is there any reasoning for that?
Just the way it's always been.
It just seems to me, I mean, my thought was if we would consider, or just discuss if that was changed to a Monday morning at 5, till Monday morning at 5, any emergency on a Sunday, these guys are out away from their family,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
would qualify them for overtime. Currently, if they work their work week and they're done Friday, and a snowstorm comes up on Saturday, they get time and a half. If a snowstorm comes up on a Sunday, they get straight time because they'll just quit earlier on a Thursday and a Friday. And they lose it all. Would there be any, and is this the place to consider changing their work week from Monday to Monday?
That's probably something we should do in township meeting.
Okay,
I can put it on the next one.
okay, okay.
That gives me time to think about it too.
Well, you know, it's just, I think the comment was made that these guys, and it may not even affect it, but when they gotta go out there, if they go out on a Saturday, they can get overtime, but if they go on a Sunday, they're forced to fall under straight time because they'll just quit earlier. So I'd really like to see that looked at, but yeah, if you put it on the agenda for...
Yes.
Does that conclude our meeting?
Comments? Is that what you want?
No? No, we had a
I have
comment.
comments.
For the good of the township?
Is it for the good of the township? I think it's for the good of the township. Before you were an officer here, you were elected, you put out a list, you and Arthur put out a
I
list.
did not put out no list.
Hey, if you sleep with the devil, you go to hell.
Well,
And that's about what you're doing. You two guys put out a list of all these people that you think were violating the zoning,
I did not put out no list.
including things like Weaver's Store, Brecknock Orchard, the mill down here that's trying to make a living. And you guys are going to beat on these guys because they're selling things that are not maybe what they were originally intended to?
You are completely off the wall. I am not part of that list.
Why not?
I'm not.
The two of you are together.
I'm not
just- we-
part
you
of that list. Did I
demonstrated
have
that
any part
tonight.
of that
No,
list?
no.
You demonstrated that tonight on every vote. You demonstrated where your loyalty lies, not with the township.
I told you at the fire hall, I wonder if you know what you're doing. You remember that day?
No.
Yes.
Do you
You're
know
so
what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing.
Well, I think I
I
know
went
what I'm
through
doing.
this a lot longer than
why
you.
would you be upset at Good's Meal?
I
mean, if I go down there and tell these people that you're in with
I hope you do. I hope you do. I hope you do tomorrow. And you'll get a response from that man. Please,
right?
please go down there.
and how about Brecknock
And
Orchards?
They're my friends.
What's
I
the
know they're
purpose
your
of
friends,
this?
and you're stabbing them in the back.
What's
No,
the-
I'm not.
what's
I'm
the
not
purpose
part of
this?
that list.
What's the purpose of this?
I'm going
Or
home.
do
This
you
is
intend
ridiculous.
to follow up on these
What
threats?
the world?
I didn't make any threats. So let's do you move to adjourn?
Yeah, adjourn it.
Okay.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
That's only ridiculous in your eyes.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, is that right?
No, you don't.
Arthur, this is your list.
That is not my list. I had no part of that list.
Hey, you're in with
You know
us.
what?
Whose list is it?
Yeah.
Jerry, is it your list?
Is it your list?
You can't answer the question?
Well, it's got Jerry's name on it.
Oh, so he wrote it.
Yes, he wrote it.
No wonder he
I
can't
would just
deny
hope
it.
somebody would contact Gene Martini and ask him to reconsider.